Hey everybody, it's Monday night. It's Always Bookin Comedy. It is Mark Masters here without a guest at the moment. I just emailed Chris. We'll see if he tunes in. In the meantime, I can tell you what I've been up to this weekend. I was in Maine. What a great state. As I drove in, big sign said, "The way life should be." The way life should be, which apparently means sandwiches should have lobsters in them and they should cost $60. It was pricey to get a lobster roll in Maine, but great place. I was actually on Wednesday of last week. I was in San Francisco at a small theater in Union Square, cheaper than therapy. Shout out to them; they are great. It was so nice to see Carla Clay was on the lineup, and a couple other folks that I know. It was really cool to see some comedy friends out in the Bay Area, and then I took a red eye into Logan International Airport, borrowed a car, drove up to Maine, did 2 shows the next night. Had a very critical nap in the middle of all that. That was fun. And yeah, what did I do? I went to Empire Comedy Club, which I'd never been to. Sweet room, really great room. And then I went over to Laugh Shack, the longest running show in Maine is called Laugh Shack. It's at Lincoln's, which is a like secret speakeasy type basement bar. Really fun room. Got to headline that show, which was terrific. Kind of the the follow up to 2 years ago around the same time. There was a blizzard. So April, I believe 2024, could have been 23. There was a huge blizzard and the whole city of Portland closed down. And so I was slated to headline and it got canceled. And so the triumphant return, and I had a lobster roll right before, right before my set at Empire, and then popped over to Lincoln's. And then I went to Freeport, Maine, which is famous for LL Bean. You've heard of the LL Bean brand. They have their flagship store out there in Freeport. I did a show like 5-minute drive from that flagship store at Mast Landing Brewing. About 90 people there. Really fun. Had a record, I think. Sold 31 stickers when I did my merch, which was exceptional. They were very wealthy and friendly, and it was a good combination. I had a great set. Did 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Can't really remember. Thought I was doing 30. And pretty much right as I was walking up on stage, they asked me when I wanted my light. And I said, okay, I'm doing 30. Give me a light at 25. And I said, no, you're doing 40 or 45, whatever it was. And I had a good time. Did some crowd work with a lobster man. This is like a real thing. Somebody was a lobster man, lobster, however you pronounce it. Let me just check in and see if Chris has emailed me back. We got, I'm backstage recording. Oh, I must have sent him the wrong link. That's my fault. Did I send him the wrong? I must have done that wrong. Okay, so we'll get him on in just a second. This has been a fun little solo episode. If anybody has any questions about comedy in the great state of Maine or San Francisco or Red Eyes or anything, I had a good joke going. So we got a question from North Carolina about what do you do when somebody asks for more material. I have easily an hour. I probably have, if I really needed to, I could probably do 2 hours on stage, especially with a little practice just to help my memory. So I have like 2 hours of jokes. So get into 40 or 45 is easy. Anywhere up to 60 with just a little bit of preparation is pretty easy. Going from 30 to 45 it's kind of a big leap, but I had done, I think, close to 30 the night before. So as it turned out, I added a couple bits and I did some extra crowd work. So like crowd work is an easy way to pad a set. And yeah, what else did I learn? There was some other funny stuff at that show. It's hard because they all blur together. Let me Hey, all right, we got a hello. How's your day going? With a Rams. I was just talking about the Rams today. It's crazy. I was talking about the St. Louis Rams. I can't tell if that's LA Rams or St. Louis Rams there. We got a oh geez. All right. Let me make a phone call and give some tech support here. Uh, All right, we're calling the guest right now in real time. Thanks for tuning in, Oluwaka. Hey, I think I sent you the wrong link. I'm so sorry. Could you click the link that I just sent you? Thanks a lot. Bye. We're live right now.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Okay. What do we got here? That was my team, RIP, St. Louis Rams. Yeah. Great stadium. Superdome or whatever it was, some kind of dome. All right, I think Chris is going to be here any second, so I don't want to start a new story, but maybe I should to extend it. So I was in Freeport, Maine. I had to do some extra time, sold a ton of stickers. Then I went to, here we go. There we go. Sorry about that, Chris. It's my fault. We're live. I've been talking for 6 minutes, but we're going to get to know you. Chris is in Seattle, Washington. Looks like he's at a Funly lit brewery right now. I don't think Funly is a thing. We got a hey from Bryce the Goat. We got people tuning in. By the way, if you're watching online right now, we're comedians. We run comedy shows. If you have any questions in that area, we were just talking about the St. Louis Rams. You can ask anything you want. Here's a welcome from North Carolina. So I know Chris because he puts on some great comedy shows out in the Seattle area. And we have a mutual friend in comedy, and that's about where it ends. So I really don't know much about you, Chris. Let's get to know you. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Terrible coke addict. That's the first thing you should know. No.
Okay.
My name's Chris Talbott. I was a journalist for 36 years and got sick, luckily, and have been able to quit that
That's
career.
how you got out. What kind of journalist? TV, print? What area?
I was a unicorn, print mostly, but I did news, sports, and entertainment.
Oh, cool.
Spent 9 years working at the Associated Press, and we moved out here to Seattle because my wife could make more money than me.
Okay.
But
did you ever cover the St. Louis Rams? That was a topic.
I never covered the St. Louis Rams, but I did cover the NFL from time to time. So yeah, I could actually talk about the St. Louis, the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, there you go.
Into that, but
nice.
We don't have much time. So
okay, so you got sick. We don't need
I got sick and just had been looking around for things to do and took a comedy class here in town, and things have just rolled downhill proverbially since then. But no, we're
in a good way or a bad way?
No, a good way. We're going to do it
because rolling downhill, you're going faster, right?
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. Downhill sometimes connotes a bad thing, but I think you're trying to say a good thing. You're picking up speed.
It depends on how you define success. If you define success by paying rent in the third most expensive rent town in America, well, maybe we're not doing so great. But
okay,
we're going to do 120 shows this year.
Whoa.
We've yet to cancel a show because of ticket sales, and
at 120. We got to talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Holy moly, 120. That's like every 3 days.
Yeah, something like that.
And who is we? Let's start with that.
Well, it's my little company. I'm the owner of the company, and I'm lucky enough to have two slightly paid friends who are working with me. Andrew Frank, who I just mentioned, is helping a great deal, and then my other friend Rich Snyder, who's another working comedian, is helping as well. And basically, we're working for scratch. We're trying to build something. We're trying to build a community. The area that we're in is entertainment free. People are pretty hungry for entertainment. So,
what area is that? Seattle Metro?
The Ballard area of Seattle, the Northwest Seattle area. There's no comedy club over here. There's one movie theater. and it
Okay.
has 2 screens, so maybe 3 screens. So it's just, we recognize that there was an opportunity to try. We tried. Everybody responded very well, the community and the comedians. So we rapidly escalated to take advantage of what we see as a great opportunity. So we went from a for fun, not for profit enterprise to enrich the community. We viewed it as a professional development engine. Now we've added a layer of profitability to it. We need it to make money, but we think it can. So we'll see. I'm lucky enough. My wife has allowed me to become her sugar baby,
Nice.
and
Yeah, it gives you a little runway to try and figure this out. I have so many questions. This is so fascinating.
okay.
First question, do you ever run 2 shows on the same night since you have 3 people?
We have not. We are considering it in a couple of instances. We have avoided that. Last week, for instance, we had a show at Laps Comedy Club, and we canceled our brewery show that night just because
Okay.
it's just too much.
Okay.
But we could, and we're about to go out of town, and by that I mean we're about to solicit for shows out of the Seattle area.
Okay.
We've got our Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays, and some Saturdays free, so we're going to try to fill those up, and then we may have to do shows on the same night, and we can do it. Andrew has 20 years of experience. I did the first 55 shows by myself, so.
Okay. Do you have 2 sets of equipment, or are you gonna have
Yes.
to invest in? Yeah. Okay.
Two sets of equipment. I have big show, little show equipment. We can scale from a 2-man show in your small space to probably reasonably 500 people outdoors.
Okay. Wow.
With the sound that would handle that. At this point, we've sold 250 tickets to our biggest show, and
Wow. Who headlined it? Or was it a showcase?
One to our smallest show. It was we do mostly themed shows, and that was our, let's see, 250 was our Halloween show.
Okay.
We actually had to turn 50 people away, which was kind of a bummer.
Wow.
And then we had 150 to 200 at several other shows. A roast for dogs, which is for dogs, and Battle of the Ages was popular the first time we did that, which is a generational conflict show. So we're more interested in doing themes than personalities at this point.
Sure. Fun. How do you manage all the booking, like communicating with all these comics that you're getting to these shows?
Well, I've spent my life in communications, so it is a struggle. I use a marketing software, so I sometimes have trouble getting into people's inboxes and things like that. But I basically work with a group of about 80 to 100 people, and my friend Rich has taken some of the communication duties from me. He handles signups for our weekly showcases now.
Okay.
But it's everything, and it's kind of maddening. It's social media. It's, you can tell them 1,000 times text me, and they're still going to send you an Instagram message or.
Right.
But
so let's talk about the show that had 1 person in it.
Yeah.
Any lessons you learned from that? Anything? Maybe?
No, I mean, we're I say we. I mean, me.
But the royal we.
Our company, we here at Mockingbird Comedy don't believe in canceling shows. I would have had that show if no one had showed up, because it just would have been an open mic, and
Okay.
I would have paid the people the money and taken my lumps. But no, it was great. Our person was Jackie. Jackie walked in, and she was looking at her phone and looked up and saw that she was the only person there, and kind of slowed down, and I ushered her in and made sure that she was comfortable. We're not sure that she laughed, but when we asked her at the end, was there any point at which you wanted to get up and run away? She said no. So
Okay.
we take her at face value, despite
Nice.
placid nature of her face.
Sure.
And
Have you learned anything about ticket sales?
no. In fact, I feel like I know less every day. No, we're going through, the shows that you would think sell well will continue to sell well. We're going to do Mother's Day, Father's Day. We thought in this part of town and this part of the world, the holiday and theme shows do better than, I could hire someone fancy, but the name recognition wouldn't be enough to sell tickets in the neighborhood. So Mother's Day, Father's Day, those shows are going to do really well. So the trick is to not get too fancy with what else you're doing. For instance, this weekend we're doing a book-themed comedy show, which my background is writing and I love books, but I don't know how many tickets I'm going to sell to that.
Okay. Are you having it at a bookstore or anything fun like that?
No, we've partnered with a bookstore though,
Okay.
and we'll see. You don't sell. You sell all of your tickets almost in the last 24
I
hours.
know. It's so maddening. I have a show coming up this Sunday I'm worried about, and it's like, geez Louise, people, get the tickets. Come on.
So we have a kids show on Sunday, and it's the same thing. We'll know Sunday whether
whether it's going to be good. So the book theme, I pretend I'm the comic. Explain to me what I'm supposed to. How long is my set? What do I do to make it book themed? Sure. Give me the pitch.
Well, I send out calls, and I'm sorry I didn't realize the room was going to be
okay.
used. It's okay. All right. I sent out a pitch to my group of 80 to 100, and within that are bookish people. I knew that already because some had book material, and so got enough within my group to do the show. I think we've got 10 comedians signed up. Our host is the romance editor for the Seattle Gay News. She just happens to be in our group. We have a librarian.
A comic as well, or
yes.
just okay? Yeah. Oh, cool, neat.
Yeah, we have a. I'm sorry about this.
It's okay. There's kind of noise canceling, so it's not as bad as it sounds on your end, on my end.
All right, we have a librarian just by happenstance in our group, and readers.
So the librarian's got, let's say, a 10-minute spot.
Something like that, 8 to 10. Yeah.
Can the librarian do any material, and it's just okay that they are coming from a book industry kind of role position, or do they need to do at least one book joke, or what's the?
Yeah, I think they need to start their set in the book area, in the library, so to speak. And I try to give people enough of a heads up. In this case, we've had 2 months to write, jokes about books. I read Fourth Wing and Dungeon Crawler Carl, so everybody who took the challenge to do the show has done that, so,
has
and
prepped for it.
Yeah, I would say 90% of our shows were posted in January, so that people know so that they've signed up already for the shows. I know most of my lineups for the entire year, and they now have time to write material. But I am adding shows. We come up with ideas and things like that. This Romantasy show was sort of in situ in January, but I announced it in March, so we'll do new things, but we think we have enough fun ideas already that I was able to just go ahead and say, well, this is the year.
That's cool. So moving on to a question about like Mother's Day, Father's Day, kind of holiday themed shows. Do you ever get comics who cancel on you because they get a better offer or something like that? Or do you ever have trouble booking somebody, and particularly around like December time? Because that's the time when a lot of comics are getting corporate work.
Yeah, every show we lose a couple people, so I tend to overbook, and people don't love that. Everybody wants minutes, but you tend to lose a few every show.
Okay.
I tell people my thinking about this is evolving as I like we've turned an open mic into a professional showcase, for instance. And so before I didn't care who showed up because we would have 25 people show up. But if I've scheduled a show with only 8 comedians and 3 drop out, we're in trouble, So
Right.
I want people to follow their heart and have the better opportunity, but I also want them to see this as one of our good opportunities in town. I mean, at this point, I can seat as many people as our comedy clubs. I'm not up to the frequency of shows yet, but we're calling this a comedy club, and so I'm hoping that the 80 people, 100 people in our group view it that way as well, and think that the opportunity is worth it. And I've had people back out of shows and say, "Oh well, the other show was canceled," and frankly, I would have let them back in the show. I don't want things to be punitive, but I guess I have to earn the right to. I need my shows to be all the things that they don't want to perform in my show for. I need it to be a headlining opportunity for them, or a chance to be in front of 200 people. So we're getting there. I'd love to. There's competition to get on the shows now, and on some of the shows, and I'd love that for every show. And then you don't really have to worry about canceling, because
How, of the 120 shows, how many venues do you think you'll be at?
Well, of those 120, just 3 are 2
Okay.
old show partners. We have one in Ballard and one in Queen Anne, which are 2 very populated areas in Seattle. They're essentially the first ring of suburbs around Seattle, and and then we have a few shows at Laps Comedy Club, which is where I got my start learning how to be a comedian, and we enjoy the shows over there. We just did Battle of the Ages last week.
Angela and
Dave Dennison. Yep.
Dave and Angela. They're
Dave
great.
did a set for the Boomers in the Battle of the Ages, so it was great.
Yeah.
But I have good partners and want to just work with my partners. I'm not looking to expand within the city. We just want to do shows outside of the city limits.
Do you find, I wonder if you will find this year that, like, let's say you run 50 shows at one of those spots, is there going to be fatigue, or are there going to be like super fans, people who come to like 40 out of the 50 shows?
We're learning. We don't know. We don't think that there is fatigue, because getting into the weeds a little bit, each venue, they're only 1.5 miles apart, but they each have their entire own clientele who don't overlap at all. So we're not advertising to the entire community. We're just advertising to these groups of people.
Right.
And yes, the goal is to, from the larger community, build a community of 1,000 people who want to go to comedy once a month. And if we have 1,000 people who want to go to comedy once a month, we'll never have a problem. We'll always be sold out. And I would say at this point, we have 50 people who want to go once a month, and another 50 who, when they hear about it every month, come out, And so every group of 50, if we can get 5, by show 200, hopefully the middle of next year, we're not really worried about ticket sales. And we do have some super fans. We do have some super fans who come to every show. They'll be here tonight. And we also, every show, have new people who hear about it from some unique way, usually.
Cool. You ever have to kick anybody out?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We have a politics show. I have gone over procedures for what we would do if we have trouble.
Okay.
But no, not yet. Seattle is a very nice town.
I know, but you get alcohol involved, and even nice people can. For
sure. No, we've definitely thought about it, but no, we're lucky, and I trying to think if I've. Surely, and I've only been in comedy in Seattle for a little while, but I haven't really heard of anyone having a negative interaction with hecklers, even, really. So.
Okay, nice. Well, that's great. Could be the burbs. Maybe the burbs are just friendlier.
I don't know.
Have you had any surprise guests or like bookings you were like where you kind of punched above your weight, you know? Like it sounds like you got your 100 people, but maybe somebody random, their mom lives in Ballard or something like that, who's kind of famous or something like that.
No, we actually Seattle isn't. I would assume that we would have a bigger comedy imprint than we do, but we're very fortunate to have Andrew Frank in our group. He's been helping me. We're trying, like I said, we're trying to expand out of town and give him a lot of headline opportunities out of town. Bo Johnson's a member of our group and occasionally
Oh,
drops
wow.
by.
He's a big deal. That's cool.
He's great. He's the friendliest guy
I
in the
worked with
world.
him. I featured for him one weekend in Montana a couple years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's really busy, but when he has time, he drops in and
Cool.
does a set or two. He had been doing one or two sets a month, but now he's. I don't think he's coming home anytime soon. It doesn't seem like.
Good for him. Good for
Heck,
him.
Bo Johnson on the road. But for the most part, I am sort of dedicated to the mission of helping the people in the group grow to be the best that they can and offer professional development opportunities. We're going to have a hosting academy in next month, so that people who are looking to, move from maybe a 5-minute set to something more significant, they can go that route. Hosting's kind of a difficult job, and we think we can help people with that. And we have the showcases to offer them the opportunity to host a showcase, which
Sure.
we think is unique. I think we have, frankly, 10 people who could tour in our group and probably do pretty well for themselves if they apply themselves, and that's what we're here for. Is to offer them as much opportunity as reasonable to do that.
Yeah. Have you, in a couple of years you've been doing this, have you changed your equipment at all? Why?
Well, let's see. I think Friday is our 1-year anniversary of owning equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. I started stand up. I think I'm going to say 3 years ago in October, by just taking Andrew's class here in town at Laughs, and found very quickly there weren't a lot of opportunities to perform in town, and so bought a PA system and started an open mic, and that rapidly, like I said, it rolled downhill very quickly from a weekly open mic to 120 shows in a year sort of ambition. So no, I think you should go as simple and as easy as you can with your equipment. If you're starting out, buy used equipment. We're just talking.
Yeah. Why don't you list what you have? You obviously have a sound, like some kind of PA.
Yeah, I just use I have two for the outdoors. I have a bigger Harbinger. I think it's 1100 watts or something, and a couple of microphones and a couple of microphone stands. And as long as you have a power source, you can set up in a field in the middle of nowhere and put on a comedy show. And then I have a smaller little Fender Passport, which a musician might use, and
clips together, but it comes apart.
Exactly. Right. And you can just carry it.
And then do you have stage lights, any of that stuff?
I have minimal lights. I'm lucky enough that my partners have stages for me that I set up and take down and that sort of thing. But I will. If you need that, if you need chairs, we're full service. We'll figure out how to do all those things. As long as the money into the partnership is there, for sure.
Yeah.
And but cool. The idea is to show up at a nice space like this where they very smartly think that they're an event space that sells beer, not a beer space that has events. So they're looking for me and I'm looking for them, and so I hope to have a network of these. Like they used to have blues music circuits in the South where I grew up, and that's what I want as a comedy stand-up comedy circuit.
That's incredible.
I think it's not easily attainable. I think it's attainable, and that it can employ a lot of comedians for years to come.
Yeah, that's amazing. It sounds like you built something really special. Let me. I got a speed round for you, and then we'll see if you have anything else you want to discuss, and then we'll let you plug those amazing venues and your production company, etc. So I'm just going to name some comics that I know from the Pacific Northwest. You can tell me quickly if you work with them, any quick stories, anything like that.
I don't know because I don't know a lot of people. So
Okay, well that's fine. You can just say pass or whatever. Let's
all right,
go.
all right.
Andrew Slater. You know him?
Nope,
No.
nope.
Okay,
Sorry.
fantastic. Very funny, by the way. Adam
Wait. Let me start
Miller.
a list. Yeah,
Okay,
I
I can
know
send
Adam.
him your info later. Andrew's at like Bo's level or even ahead, so he's kind of a big deal, but he does live out there.
Right.
Super funny. Adam, you know Adam.
I know Adam. He's part of our group. He'll be performing here when he gets back off tour this month.
Awesome. Adam will be at the Vail Comedy Festival at the end of next month, about a month from now. So everybody check that out, vailcomedyfestival.com. And Min Lin.
Yes, Min's also in our group. She's one of my favorite people.
She's amazing.
She was just named a champion of comedy here in town by the Stranger news outlet.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay. Anything we didn't touch on that you'd like to discuss?
No, I just think it's a fun adventure. I wouldn't suggest that every comic go and start their own comedy show. I'm not saying that, but I think if you have skills in event planning and something to offer to the community, there is opportunity here. And if you're dedicated to growing the community, please do.
Yeah. Okay. You heard it from Chris Talbott, everybody. Where can people find you? Where can people find your production company? And shout out your venues as well.
Yeah, we're at mockingbirdcomedy.com on the internet, and that's a really terrible website that I made myself. Instagram, Mockingbird Comedy, and by Chris Talbott, like a byline, BY Chris Talbott. That'll get you most everything. And then I'm trying to think, Old Stove Brewing Company. We work at both the Gardens and the Ship Canal location. They're amazing partners. If you're in the Seattle area, check them out. I think breweries might be a model for people who are looking for ways to do this. They really are a different way to go about things. I think you can build your own comedy club if you have a good partner. And
yeah, let me mention an old episode, and I'm going to talk to you about this off air. But out in Denver, there's a guy, Steve Vanderplug, who runs Rotating Tap Comedy. He has a network of breweries in the Denver metro area, and he's probably running a similar number of shows as you are. He does do overlapping shows, so he has like this franchise model kind of thing. He's got comics like delegated to run shows. It's very cool. So if people want to Google Always Bookin Comedy Rotating Tap, there's another half hour of content. If you're interested in show running in breweries, it's probably a year and a half old episode at this point. Chris Talbott, thank you so much for hopping on. Sorry about the link mix up, and stay on for a second. Everybody else, tune in next Monday. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I did have a final thought for North Carolina. We were talking about stretching. The other thing about that is I had a set list, and all my jokes kind of have like a quick, like a competition length, and then maybe like a medium length and a long length. And so all the bits, I can kind of stretch them a little bit. And if I stretch all of them, that adds 10 to 15 minutes right there. So pretty easy to expand when I need to at the last second. Anyways, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.